Welcome back to the Best Dominion Cards 2016. This is part 7, the second part for the cards costing 3. The 9 cards from rank 31 to 39. Rank 39, Develop. 3 percentage points better than Caravan Guard is Develop. It was last in the first edition, but rises consistently. Just like last year, it is 3 ranks better. It is still 1 rank lower in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, Develop was underrated for a while, but as the time went by, engines just were getting better and better, and Develop is clearly an engine card. It really depends on the cards on the board. If there are good cards on each price point, Develop is just amazing. You can also as it's basically a gainer for each price cost, so developing high cost card is really worth it if you manage to draw the cards that you gained later in the turn. But it really depends on the board, and some engines it's not really worth it. Sometimes it's only bought because it's the only copper treasure, then of course it's fine, unless there's of course Poor House on the board. Still, it's not the greatest card because it highly depends on the board, but you have to really evaluate each board if it's a developed board, and sometimes it really is, and can be really nice to accelerate your gains in an engine. Rank 38, Tunnel. Just like in the last years, Tunnel loses again, this time 1 rank. It is still 3 ranks higher in the unweighted ranking, but was also voted last once. Yeah, it's amazing. Tunnel was 9th once, and is now only 1 rank higher than Developed, which was once last. So this shows how the opinions change. Because Tunnel is not that great anymore, because gaining golds isn't valued as high as it was once before. There are still a lot of Tunnel enablers. Even Empires has Forum, which is amazing with Tunnel. But playing a money-ish deck like Warehouse or Dungeon or Storeroom or Embassy or whatever with Tunnel isn't often the best thing anymore, because you can only, at most, if you're lucky, getting 1 province a turn. And it has to be really a good Tunnel enabler to just discard the cards from your hand at best. And of those, there are not many of them. And still, you have a lot of coppers and estates in your deck, so you still need a treasure or something. It's still hard to reach 8 consistently in such decks. Tunnel is still very good if you have treasure benefit, like salvaging golds or apprenticing golds or bishoping golds after you gain them with Tunnel, can be quite good. Not using the golds for the buying power, just for a card that costs 6, can be really nice. Yeah, but the boards in which Tunnel is great for the gold gain are just less and less. But you still have to account, of course, that Tunnel is worth 2 points for free, 2 points for free coins, which is an amazing deal. So if you have 6 and 2 buys, it's off in the end game. Gaining tunnels is just better than Duchy, so this is still a good deal for its price point. The 2 points that you have to be aware of. Rank 37, Loan. Loan was better 2 ranks last year. This year 3 more ranks. It is 1 rank lower in the unweighted ranking and was voted last once. Yeah, Loan is a decent treasure if you open with it, because it guarantees that you treasure copper that is even not in your hand. The problem though is first that if you open with another key card and you draw Loan turn 3, it might skip your key card finding your copper, which can really set you back. Also, Of course, if you plan to add other treasures like silver, you have to really rely on luck that it finds your coppers and not your silver. So loan is better if you don't plan to add other treasures in your deck. And you're often fine if loan is the only treasure doing that. Of course, you can't get rid of your estates, but it's not as good like Moneylender or Spice Merchant, but it also costs one less, and it also doesn't. The trashing not from hand is an advantage in the beginning. Of course, later is a disadvantage because you have to rely on your luck finding the card that you really want to trash. So it has some upsides, it has some downsides. All in all, a decent treasure. Not that great as many other treasures, of course, that are still to come in this list. Rank 36, Storeroom. Storeroom has a lead over loan of over 4.5 percentage points, but is a loser in this list. It lost 5 ranks and over 6 percentage points, but it is still 4 ranks higher in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, the use cases for Storm are not that often. It just like Secret Chamber has the problem that on a board without draw, it only guarantees you 4 coins, so you need at least a silver to get to 5. It only is decent, for example, Storeroom Gardens, because it has the plus buy and guarantees your gardens each turn. And if you have a silver, you can even find your silver pretty reliable, maybe, to get a duchy. But Storeroom Gardens is not that great, and it's just better in the boards with draw that have weak trashing or no trashing, or has weak trashing and maybe is a cursor with it, so that you on engines that just have a lot of bad cards in your deck, because first if you play Village and then Storeroom, it might find your good cards, or if you draw the Storeroom late, it can discard all your bad cards for money. So in weak engines, Storeroom shines, I think, the most, but on many boards that's just a terminal that's not really worth it, and it can't be used like a cellar or warehouse because it's terminal, and that is a problem on many boards. Rank 35, Oasis. Oasis has a small lead over Storeroom of 0.05 percentage points. Just like last year, it lost again 2 ranks and quite a significant amount in its average. It also is still 4 ranks higher in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, Oasis is a decent opener because you have still estates in your deck that you clearly can discard and find maybe a copper with it. Then it's better than silver because it gives you the same amount of money and cycles your 1 card. And that makes it also a pretty strong card in cursing decks, because it cycles you 1 card, so it finds you your cursor more often, and you can pretty much always have a curse or an estate or something or bad card in hand that you can discard. So it makes it clearly better than the silver in those decks. But of course, in decks with trashing, you don't really want to discard unless you overdraw. Then it might be nice to add one to add reliability and to give a little benefit. But it really depends when you draw your aces, because you really only want to draw it, play it at the end of your turn. It is a really nice utility card that is often better than silver, but still not great compared to the other free cost cards that are still to come, because it doesn't make a huge difference if you buy Oasis or silver most of the time. And yeah, it's not that much better than silver, and silver is not a great card costing 3, so it's deservedly in the bottom ranks of this list. Rank 34, Oracle. Oracle keeps losing ranks, this year 2 more ranks. It is 1 rank higher in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, just like Spy, the attack part is of course better because it inspects 2 cards instead of 1, but it is terminal. So of course you're getting Oracle if you're building an engine. It is the only draw. It's also the attack can also work wonders against money. If you're building an engine and your opponent goes money, because you can, if you're lucky, discard really good cards and put back the bad cards, especially if you stack multiple oracles in a turn. But yeah, it only draws 2 cards, so it's not the greatest draw in an engine, and you need as well as this means you need as well all the other parts for the engine, like villages, trashing, because without trashing you won't draw your deck, and plus buy. So you can build an engine with this, but it's really hard, and the attack part doesn't make it, is not that great, and makes it not really that much better than, for example, mode, which is +2 cards without the attack part. Yeah, the attack part is nice, especially if you're not playing a mirror, but as you're mostly playing a mirror against good opponents, the effect is often not that great, as if you're playing engine mirror, what you discard or what put back is often really lucky, and doesn't hurt an engine all that much. Rank 33, Smugglers. And Smugglers keeps on climbing. This year, 2 more ranks. It has a small lead over Oracle of 0.04 percentage points. It is 3 ranks lower in the unweighted ranking. Smugglers is better than Workshop, mostly because it can gain higher cost cards, especially 5 and 6 cost cards that are just way better than 3 or 4 cost cards. And in engines where you can play as Smugglers each turn, it's really nice because it guarantees you a good card extra each turn. As you're playing probably a mirror, you can gain good cards from your opponent. But of course, it really depends if there is if there's not a key card costing 5 or 6 and different ways to build the engine. It's really difficult to incorporate Smugglers, because the cards you gain might not be what you want. But if it's a race for 1 or 2 key cards and you are glad with any one of those, getting a Smugglers even to open with, especially on second player, can be quite good. And yeah, in the end game it can even gain you duchies, maybe, if it's going to a duchy dance, and can you an advantage that way. So Smugglers can be really nice. It of course depends on the board, what cards you want to gain, just like Workshop, but Smugglers is better in most cases, as you're playing a mirror and you're want to buy or gain the same stuff as your opponent. Then Smugglers is just nearly strictly superior than Workshop. Rank 32, Farmers Market. Here's the second Empires card. It is 2 ranks lower in the unweighted ranking. I'm not sure what to say about Farmers Market because I haven't played with it much. It's really tricky though, especially on boards where it's the only plus buy. You can gain a little bit of money of it. It really depends when you play it, and sometimes you really don't want to play it because your opponent might get the 4 extra points. Especially in the end game, it's really tricky. The problem that you sometimes don't want to play it makes it, I think, in my opinion, really weak, especially in 2-player games, as you want maybe even 2 of them then, just to be sure to get the effect you want, either the 4 points, if those are relevant, because 4 points are quite a lot, or if you want the coins. It really depends. Of course, you rather want the points, especially later in the game. So you mostly want, if farmers market is the key to get extra points, you mostly want 2 of them just to guarantee to get the extra points. And otherwise it's really tricky to play right. I am not sure about the strength of this card yet, but I think it's still deservedly in the lower half of this list, because you can't really plan with it, when to play, what effect you get at what time, and it doesn't always give you the benefit you want. So as it's so unreliable, it's not that great of a card. Rank 31, Shanty Town. Shanty Town has the same average but still is 2 ranks higher and keeps on placing higher. It is 4 ranks lower in the unrated ranking. Shanty Town is just worse than a normal village most of the time. It's better in the opening if you want a village later anyway and want to hit 5. Shanty Town Silver is quite a strong opening, or Shanty Town in another non-terminal, like a treasure that's non-terminal, for example, like Forager or something, is quite good, as you can guarantee your card draw and hit 5. Also Shanty Town Potion is quite good for a lot of cases. And if there's another village, then Shanty Town is nice, as you can play your normal villages first, then your terminals, and get maybe a draw out of Shanty Town. But still, in those cases, you probably want village more often than not, just because it's just easier to activate. And most of the cases, Shanty Town is just a necropolis and doesn't draw and really hurts you. So just a normal village draw engine is not really possible with Shanty Town, or is just way weaker than a normal village draw engine, because you can't play Shanty Town for the draw. So this is it with this part. I'm looking forward to your comments. What do you think of these changes? Do you agree that tunnel isn't that great anymore? Do you think it should be higher or lower? And what do you think about farmers market? Tell us about your experience with this card, that I think will take time to really evaluate. Also, of course, I'm looking forward to your predictions. What cards will land in the next part, in the middle part of this 5-part list. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.